Hey, welcome back to Golf WRX's Winning What's in the Bag, where this week we are again looking at Scottie Scheffler's bag, but this time from the 2025 Memorial Tournament. So Jack's tournament, Scottie wins it again convincingly over Ben Griffin, who's also playing some amazing golf. But Scottie is just kind of on fire right now, which is pretty crazy. So unfortunately, Scottie doesn't change his clubs much. So a lot of this is probably what you've heard the past few videos. But Scottie is a TaylorMade staffer. He does have some other things in the bag, but majority of his clubs are TaylorMade. So let's jump in and we'll start at the top with driver. Driver is the TaylorMade Qi10. Now it is a special dot head, which was a tour issue head that was only made for tour players. It was kind of had a spin profile in between the standard Qi10 and the Qi10 LS. So it sat in the middle, it was lower spinning than the standard model, a little bit higher spinning than the LS, but a little bit more forgiving. So it just kind of sat in between there. I've also heard is a little bit more neutral bias as well, so a little bit more center start line for that ball flight. Now this is an 8-degree head, and it is kind of, I think, digitally measured to 8.25 degrees. And it looks like the Hosel is set to its upright position, so not manipulating really the loft there, so that head is probably just lofted at 8.25. Now this one here is shafted up with a Fujikura Ventus Black 7X. This is the shaft from 2019, the one with the velo core, not the latest one, so the gloss finish. It's still low launch, low spin shaft, 78 grams, 2.8 degrees of torque for that Ventus Black. Scottie plays his driver at 45 inches and a D4 swing weight. So next club we move on to is his 3-wood, and again he's playing the last year's TaylorMade, so the TaylorMade Qi10 3-wood. This is a 15-degree head, but it is actually lofted at 14.75 degrees. Now this is the standard model Qi10, not the Tour or anything like that. Typically this head launches a little bit higher, spins just a little bit more, and this one here tends to be a little bit more on the forgiving side. Now this one here is shafted up like his driver with a Fujikura Ventus Black, but an 8X, so the 80-gram range. Again, 2018/19 model, came out right about then. It is tipped 1.5 inches in this head, and it's got a really ultra stiff handle, ultra stiff tip, and then the midsection is pretty stiff as well. Comes in at 85 grams, 2.8 degrees of torque, 42 and 5/16 inches long, and a D3 swing weight. So then the next club in his bag, now this one here is fluctuated before. He's kind of stuck with this TaylorMade Qi35 7-wood for a little bit now, but he used to have, or possibly still can go in, a Srixon ZU85 in the position here, like a 3-iron version. But right now he is playing the new TaylorMade Qi35 7-wood. So this is a bonded Hosel version, 21 degrees, but it's playing at 20. But kind of like the 3-wood, bonded Hosel, a little bit more forgiving, a little bit slightly bigger profile to it. Now this tour issue one, to me, does have a little less of kind of like the larger footprint like the retail one has. Looks like it's just slimmed down a touch, but it also comes in at a 60-degree lie angle for Scottie. Now this one here, much like his other woods, shafted up with a 2019 Fujikura Ventus Black, but this time the 9X in the 90-gram range. Again, ultra stiff, really heavy, stiff piece, very low launch, low spin. Comes in at 95 grams and 3.1 degrees of torque. Now he's playing this club at 41 and 3/8 inches long at a D4 swing weight. Now moving to his irons, and his irons, like I kind of already hinted at, are a little bit of a combo set. The 4-iron in this set is going to be a Srixon ZU85 4-iron. So this is the 23-degree head. Not sure if he's got any, kind of loft changes there. But this thing came out in 2018, so a little bit older model, tons of lead tape on the back. When you compare the ZU85 to the brand new ZXi utility, it's got a little bit of a thicker top line, a little bit more offset to it. I think just overall it's a slightly bigger head. I think Scottie doesn't mind a little bit of offset in some of his clubs. Now this one here is hollow body. It's got a basically S20C steel frame to it, and then it's got a what they call an SUP10 high-speed face, a steel face on it. So it's got a little bit more speed, probably a little bit better distance gapping between that 7-wood and his irons. Now this one is shafted up with a True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue X100. Cool thing about the Tour Issue shafts is that they're exactly the same as the X100 or S300, whatever you would buy at retail. The difference is the Tour Issue ones are sorted within 0.5 grams of standard. So 130 grams, that means they're not going to get any heavier than 130.5 or 130.5 or 129.5. They're all going to be within that 0.5 gram range. And it's just a weight sorting tolerance on the tour issue parts that these players demand. Now we move to his irons, and his irons are TaylorMade P7 TWs. Yes, this is the Tiger Woods blade that he designed with TaylorMade. Scotty's playing 5-through pitching wedge in these. These were released in 2019, and yeah, just a forged blade, slightly longer blade length. It's got a nice face progression on it, or face height progression. So as you get down to the shorter irons, that face does look a little taller, looks a little bit more, I think, cleaner at address. Forged one-piece steel. It does have like a little bit of tungsten right in the center of the blade, just a small weight to probably get the head weights correct and move a little bit of mass right behind the strike point at impact, giving it a little bit softer, more solid feel. These are played by a ton of players out on tour. Scottie, Tommy Fleetwood, a handful of players out there. They also have the milled grind sole on them. So Tiger helped design that sole, and now that they mill that grind into the sole, they are exactly the same every time, instead of the hand polishing, hand grinding, which can have some variations to it. Now these, like that Srixon utility, are shafted up with True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue X100s. So again, 130 grams, kind of mid-low launch and mid-low spin. So moving to his wedges, and he moves into some different wedges. They are Titleist Vokey SM8s. So yes, the SM8, which to me is kind of at a similar CG in terms of center of gravity placement as the SM10s have, but they have a little bit more offset to them. So when you set down the 10s, you set down the 8s, to me that transition from Hosel into leading edge, or just happens to be just maybe, I think, a touch more offset in the SM8s. Now the first wedge he's playing is the 50.12 F grind. This is the full sole wedge, and it is the higher bounce version. They make a 50.08 F, but this is the higher bounce version. It's going to get through the turf a little faster, reduce some digging, and it's also probably going to play just a little bit better on those square or full shots. Now this is shafted up with the, of course, famous wedge shaft out there, the True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue S400. This is usually always matched up with the X100s, it seems. And this one shaft here comes in just a 2 grams heavier at 132 grams. But it is a little bit softer because it's a stiff flex, so it's got a little bit heavier weight, a little bit softer feel for those partial shots around the green. Now sand wedge is going to be the 56.14 F. So this is, I believe, one of the highest bounce sand wedges that Vokey makes. Full sole, not a ton of relief on the back end or out in the toe or anything. It basically plays full, really resists digging, especially in soft conditions or for players who are a little bit steeper or hitting steeper shots. Now this one here, same as the gap wedge, is shafted up with a True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue S400. And yeah, with the sand wedge, you're probably just not hitting tons of full shots. So having something a little bit softer will give you, a little bit more feel around the green, while still offering a similar, profile flex to the X100 and similar ball flight. Now his lob wedge is going to be a Titleist Vokey SM10 60.06K. So this is the low bounce K grind. And the K grind is basically a much wider sole, so very wide sole, but very low bounce, 6 degrees. And what this does is it allows players like Scottie, who maybe play that sand wedge with a little bit shallower angle of attack or play really firm conditions. It's going to play well there, have good turf interaction, but that wide sole is still going to offer it some float in the sand traps. It's going to reduce some of the digging around the green or off tight lies, and it still allows them to play a wide range of shots. Maybe not so much as like a T grind, which is the grind that Scottie used to play, but it'll still be pretty versatile and allow him to play some different shots there. Now, this one here, just like the others, is shafted up with a True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue S400. And again, this is something that's been in the bag for just a little bit. Used to play the T grind, he moved over to the K, low bounce K, just a little while ago, and it seems to have cemented itself in the bag for now. Now I moved to putter, and his putter is the TaylorMade Spider Tour X. So a very, very popular putter on tour. It's the same kind of style that Rory uses. Now Scottys is the X1 head, which is the L neck or plumber's neck. It's that neck that comes up and makes kind of a left at 90 degrees, giving it kind of a full shaft offset there. Now his looks very much like a retail putter. It's got the true path alignment, that big white stripe going down the middle, and then just a single black sight line that runs inside that true path. The face on it is the Pure Roll insert, which is just the Srixon insert, so it's kind of a rubber material, kind of similar to what you'd find on the cover of a golf ball. And it's got the Pure Roll grooves, which are kind of 45-degree grooves that help put better forward roll in the ball, reduce some hopping and skipping as that ball leaves the putter face. The grip on this one is going to be a Golf Pride Pro Only cord, and this is the green version. So this is the largest one. So it's got a little bit more of an oval shape, a little bit more arch in the upper hand, but I think it's 88 cc's, and it's kind of got like a little softer rubber feel with that cord. so good moisture management and all that. Now his putter here, he plays it at 35.5 inches long and 3 degrees of loft and a 72-degree lie angle. Now the grips on the rest of his club are Golf Pride Tour Velvets. Now I've read somewhere with somebody saying they may be ribbed. I don't know all of them are ribbed or just certain ones or what, but they could be ribbed version, but it is a Tour Velvet version. So the rib, if they have it, it's kind of a little bit of a rubber seam that runs in the bottom half that kind of sits in the pads of your hands. You can kind of tell where the face angle is, kind of a reminder of where to grip it, how to grip it square. So they may be reminders, they may be round. I'm not 100% sure at the moment, but the Tour Velvet's been around forever and is a good blend of like traction, moisture control, and soft feel to it. And then the ball, he is using the Titleist Pro V1. So the standard Pro V1 offers a little bit more penetrating ball flight, lower spin on driver and long iron, long club shots. It's going to be lower spinning and lower ball flight than the Pro V1X, and it also has a little bit of a softer feel to it. So that is Scottie Scheffler's winning What's in the Bag from the 2025 Memorial Tournament. Congratulations to him winning Jack's tournament. That's always a huge deal. I think a lot of these players love getting to win and then going to shake Jack's hand and be congratulated by one of the greatest to ever do it. So congratulations to Scottie on yet another win this year. The guy's just playing some phenomenal golf. So check back next week when we'll jump into the next winner's bag. Maybe it's Scottie again. Who knows? But check back next week. We'll jump into the next winning What's in the Bag.